Hey everyone, welcome to the video and welcome to some garage sales. Then we'll go to Goodwill later. I will jump in from time to time with voiceover, but we do have some audio because I don't have to worry about music for this first part of the video. Oh, there is also a estate sale as well too. We'll briefly look at. So hope you guys enjoy the content. I'll pop in from time to time with just some commentary. I also wanted to mention that there will not be a recap at the end of the video. Again, there's still some content that where I picked up items and I already had to list them, you know, when I was, you know, don't want to repeat everything all the time, but I was sick and holidays, vacation, so there will not be a recap, but we'll touch on some talking points at the end.
This we're doing 3. This is part of the whole water system part. That'll be
Oh,
okay. Those are my dad's and he walked away, but I'd say like 8 for all of it. Yeah.
How much on the graphing calculator?
My graphing calculator? Yeah. Am I really listening? Oh,
Yeah, the batteries are a little blown up in there.
Yeah, it was $2 for
Okay.
that.
I think it should still work if I clean it up.
Yeah,
Oh.
clean it up. Some sparkling water will get rid of corrosion.
Cool.
I'll get it on my car battery.
There's $2 for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Make it a little less.
You get rid of half the stuff and you get time to organize. We'll be ready for tomorrow.
Oh, is that your
Down here in this box, I'm going to find a little Snow White 7 Dwarfs cuckoo clock, but I also find a little porcelain cat in a bed, and that was a, I don't think I showed on camera here, but you might see it in my hand. It's a Reniker, and it has to, I guess it's about you know, different stories or storybooks. And it's some, the cat's in a basket sleeping, and I ended up selling that for $30. Now, I'll pop it here up on the screen. Let me see. Is there any more of those little ones?
Oh. Huh?
Is there any more of those little things?
No.
Little weights?
Well, maybe we
Spring still looks good in there.
Want to add some pieces to it?
trying to sell it, Benjamin. How much are there?
No, it's $1 for the whole bag. If you have 50 cents on it, I'll take 50 cents. I just don't have any change. Only got cash.
I got one of these.
Yep.
How much for this little guy right here?
I have no
The little
clue.
pieces are in here. And then
I have
this.
never seen that in my life, so that must have come
It
from my
was
dad.
buried in there.
Oh, you know, that was my sister-in-law's.
Oh, it
We'll
was
take
buried.
$1 for that.
All right, and this little guy too, or?
Oh, wait.
Sure, $1 for both.
Okay, cool.
That was our childhood carom game back in the.
They have one of them.
We don't have the board.
Well, we have the board, but we don't have
Perfect. We
pieces.
knew we don't
Was
want
that a
to
little
throw
charm?
away. Elizabeth, this is all together, right?
Yeah, well, he
Oh, that's
wanted
cool.
just that part of
Oh,
it.
did you tell Laura?
Is it
Yeah, I
open?
told him we can ask
Okay.
just
Oh
for it.
my goodness.
I don't know if it's silver or not. No, it's not. It's not.
What's $1 for this? Here.
Giving this to me?
Okay, take $1.
There's no dollars. Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, what are you doing? You're taking all my money. Yeah. I have some of those already, though. They're not. Here you go. Here's another $1 there. Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully it works still, I think. The spring still looks good in the back.
Oh. Oh, I used to love this one. Cute.
Yeah. Where do you park at? Oh. Here I actually spotted some boots at this garage sale. We were just there and we picked up some IKEA lights, and I looked at some boots there, and I looked them up as we were walking back, and I decided to turn back around and pick them up. JB Dillon. How much are they? Are brand new with tags.
This is $40.
Okay. What size are they?
300.
300?
Yeah.
Okay.
Costaron 300.
Oh, yeah.
Very new.
Yeah. Just not the right size. What size are these ones?
This is a 40.
What size are these ones?
¿Qué size será?
You know?
I think it was 8.5.
8.5?
Between 8.5 and 9.
Okay, it's gonna be too small. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, do you
Thank you.
want it? 20.
20? Are you sure?
Yeah, this. Uh-huh.
I think
And the other?
I'll take these ones.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah,
Very
okay.
new.
They're nice.
300.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a. Okay, I'll do 20 on that. It's fine. Let me
Yes.
see. I think my wife gave me 20.
Very nice.
There's 20.
And you wanted this? $5.
$5 for those?
Ya, esas están usadas.
I'll pass on those because I don't know the size. I mean, I can't really
Okay,
tell.
okay.
Doesn't say what, but these ones say the size and everything.
Yes.
So, all right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now here we are at an estate sale, and the company that runs this sale pretty much runs a lot of them in this area. And this area of our town tends to be a little more, on the higher end. So they will price up to the higher end, whether it is high end or not. And the reason why I dropped this in here, because it is this short little snippet video, but I wanted to show you guys the dollhouse, and we didn't end up picking anything up there, but dollhouse miniatures do incredibly well. So if you can find them, grab them, for a good price that is, and you can sell them, and they usually sell pretty quickly. Okay, now we're at Goodwill. And as you can see, everybody's ready to pour in on this morning. There were a lot of people waiting for this day. I don't know why, but some days there's more people here than others. And as you can see, this is close to Christmas. That could also be why, you know, people are probably in there looking for deals or gift ideas. And so here we go. We're coming on in. I'm going over. It's great when you have somebody with you, a partner, your wife, whoever, your spouses. It's great to have someone come along with you because it kind of frees me up to come over here to the glass area, which are typically the higher end items. They're a little bit more pricier, but sometimes you have to pay more to make more. And she could go over and go start checking out the hard goods sections, which is where we attack first. Because usually they'll have some bins laying out there, or they might have some tables. Sometimes they'll set up tables, and then they'll have, if they get like a load of Target stuff in, brand new Target stuff, they'll have it all laid out here on tables, on display, as opposed to being in the shelves, because the shelves are packed here all the time. I know I've been showing this Goodwill a lot as of late, and one of the main reasons behind it is that the other Goodwills in our area just really haven't been that great. They're packed full of stuff. They still have a lot of stuff in the other Goodwills. It's just that this Goodwill, they price the best. They just seem to get the best stuff. As you can tell, look at this. Everything's crazy. Let me tell you what, one of the most popular things here when they do bring out, you know, some of this Target stuff is toilet paper. Someone always grabs the toilet paper first. You know, it's like, get the toilet paper!
Exactly.
Every time every time there's a blue black back, anytime there's like something, my camera focuses on something blue, it starts to turn yellow there. So you'll see a lot of the same people here. You know, we all kind of frequent this place quite often. So these lights were not really worth it. I thought they were what's that brand called? There's a brand of lights that are similar to that. They're usually little triangles, and they're RGB, and those do really well. It was an off-brand, and it didn't do well at all. I'm looking it up right now to see. What are they called? Nanoleaf, that's what they're called. Nanoleafs. If you do find nanoleafs, they do really well, and they resell very well. You just have to get them for a good price. That's the only thing. Because I have found them before. It's just they were priced up. And there were some brand new ones that I had picked up at Goodwill, and I didn't make too much on them, but we did make money. That's a NECA character I just put in my cart of Willie Nelson. I was like, what, Willie Nelson? I ended up selling that for, I think that was $40. Oh, that was so cool. That was, you know, I thought about keeping it, but I was like, man, I don't really. Yes, I have my Star Wars action figures, I have other action figures, but I'm more into Legos right now. So I sold the Willie Nelson. I'm more into stuff that I had when I was a kid. Wrestling figures. Wrestling is always incredibly popular. Look out for wrestling action figures, especially the vintage ones, but even these modern ones, if you can get them for a good price, definitely look out for it. These weren't WWE or WWF, as I remember it. I believe that's, I don't know, it's not even WCW. It's a different. I'm really not familiar with other wrestling associations besides WWE. So, but just a couple of great pickups. This is actually going to be a yeah, look at this. This is really cool. Oh, Disney and Encanto. Really cool pickup here, and again, brand new toys. If they're priced right, you can't go wrong. Easy to list. I mean, they're not necessarily might be easy to store. The action figures, yes. Once you get bigger items, they kind of take up space because of the box and everything they're in. But I have a specific storage for brand new items, so keep your eye out for brand new items. This wasn't really worth it. Disney princesses. So I'm looking around. So I saw some the action figures here in this little like where they put all their game board games and stuff. So I'm just making sure I don't pass anything up. Make sure I look over everything carefully. Make sure not everything falls, because everything is packed in here. As you can see, everything's packed in here, and they really don't have space for a lot of newer stuff. I'm just making sure I don't. If there's any more action figures, definitely want to pick them up. And with a lot of the newer action figures that you may find out there, especially at Goodwill, like these ones I'm picking up, a lot of these are still for sale out and about, like at Target, Walmart, other stores. So you really kind of have to, sometimes you have to wait. Either you have to price it better, or you're going to have to be willing to wait on it for a little bit, because you have to wait for the other stores to clear them out until they become not available. And then people will start looking to alternative methods of acquiring what they want or toys they want. So Sting, popular character. I'm not familiar with the other guy that I picked up, but Sting is definitely a popular character. There's a G.I. Joe action figure in the cart as well too. We went ahead and picked that up. So that was okay. That was okay for that little, just finding those little items there in the toy aisle. They're about, like I said, the Willie Nelson sold for, I think it was $40, and then the other ones are around $30 each. So, and they were priced fairly well. They were priced at $6.99 if I remember correctly. Oh, I thought that was the Microsoft ergonomic keyboard that I always pick up, that always does incredibly well. There's somebody out there in Las Vegas that always buys. Next time I come across it, I'll definitely make sure to highlight it here. But there's a Microsoft ergonomic keyboard that someone in Las Vegas buys them all the time. The moment I list them, they're sold. So definitely look up the model numbers. With a lot of electronics, it's easy because there's a model number on the back. You can quickly just look up that model number. You put the name of the device, model number into eBay, and it should come right up. If it's worth reselling, it should come up for, there should be something out there for it. Even, it'll even if there's no solds, at least it'll give you a sense of, what people are asking for it. And if there's no solds, typically you would not be picking it up, because then there's no buyers for it. You got to make sure you have a customer base or buyers for these items. Check boxes. Always check the boxes. A bunch of random, look like Pokemon cards, I believe. What else? What else? Okay. Appliances. I don't really do too much with appliances. Or big lamps. I mean, they really got to be something special in order for me to pick it up. And one of the main reasons is the hassle factor. You got to account for the box, the packaging material. Is it, if somebody orders it you know, internationally, are you still going to be able to get it to them safely? You have to think of that. You have to think of, man, if this thing's going over to Hawaii, is it going to be able to survive a trip? Am I going to be able to package it well enough to survive a trip overseas? Because it can happen. It can sell overseas. So you have to think of that. Take that into consideration. Not so much the shipping cost, because, I mean, in my opinion, you should be passing the shipping cost along to the buyer. But you still want to get there safely, no matter what. And if it's costing you a lot in packaging material, it's just not worth it. And also, too, the higher the shipping cost for the buyer, it could deter a lot of buyers. It could put it in a situation where you only have a few people that could potentially buy it. You can be cornering, you know, really cornering the market, or only having a limited amount of customers that can actually pay for that item. Not just the price they're asking, but also the shipping cost that it's going to take. So that also has to be taken into consideration. And I just don't like dealing with appliances. You got to test those things out. Got to make sure they work. I have a juicer. I think I mentioned this before. I have a juicer still sitting on my stairs. And the only reason why I'm not in a rush to get it listed, because it was only like $6. So there's not much money into it. So it doesn't motivate me necessarily to get it listed. Plus, I might want to keep it too. It is the new year, I guess. I gotta. I was telling my wife or somebody, I was like, you know, my resolution this year is to eat unhealthier. The opposite of what everybody does. Oh man, but you know, please, you know, try to stay in good health. You know, we're out there. You know, I got to get out. Yeah, I'm out there, out and about all day. You know, almost every day I'm out and about. I'm either, you know, taking packages. I'm at the flea market. So it helps to be, you know, healthy. It'll help your situation to be healthy. But man, I can't. Matter of fact, off topic a little bit. I was over at Five Guys the other day, and I don't typically. There's a place over here near us. It's called Casa de Fruta, and they have a restaurant there that makes the most amazing BLT sandwiches. However, I was just at we were at Five Guys the other day, and I wasn't really hungry, but I was like, I'm gonna get something. I might get hungry later. So I didn't want a burger. I didn't want like a whole burger, because I was like, oh man, it's gonna be too much. I'll be too full. So I just, you know, we got a grilled cheese and a BLT. So I ended up having the BLT later, and the BLT at Five Guys, amazing. That was so delicious. If you guys like bacon, they pack this thing full of bacon, and it's bacon bits, so you get bacon in every bite. If you like bacon, that Five Guys BLT was delicious. Okay, back to reselling content. Or back to my commentary on reselling, I should say. Let me know what you guys seen on the shelves. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing. Is there anything that you would pick up that I'm not picking up? Are you yelling at your screen right now, telling me to pick something up? Let me know, because it still might be there on the shelves, and I can go back and get it. Here's a little miscellaneous area. It's kind of got this white and red scheme going on with their products right now. Haven't found any. Still on the lookout for good old Glassy Baby. It's been several months since we found one. I don't know. Maybe Goodwill caught on, and they're keeping them for themselves now. But it's been a while since we pulled one out of Goodwill, or anywhere for that matter. But definitely some nice stuff here. There is nice stuff on the shelves. It's just, it's not resellable. Maybe retail, it was a, you know, obviously it was a retail at some point. Somebody bought it. But for resale, it just doesn't have any value, or enough value to be worth it to sell. To resell. There's so many items out there where they're the retail price is really, really high. But then once it's been, you know, used and, you know, you find it on the shelf somewhere, you go to resell it, it's just not there. Even though the name is, you know, carries a lot of weight or carries a hefty price tag at a retail store, it does not translate to resale value. So always remember that. Just because there's a very high-end name associated with something, it will not necessarily translate to a good resellable item. Clear glass. I'm definitely a huge fan of clear glass, but it's I don't know, it's just too generic, or it just doesn't. There's really not much resale value, and a lot of the clear glass is just not even worth it. It's just cheaply made, cheaply produced. So the reality is there's just not that much that is in the clear glass, or anywhere, anything for that matter. There's just not much out there that is really resellable. So of all these thousands and thousands of items that are sitting here on the shelves, you know, I'm only pulling out a small portion of what's going to be worth it for me to put on eBay and or another platform to resell. That's a lot of people think, oh man, they see a lot of videos, they see a lot of you know, bolo videos or sold videos. One of the reasons why I do like the shopping videos for reselling is because you see how much stuff is out there and how much is actually in somebody's cart that they're actually going to try and resell. It's not much compared to what is actually out there. So when you see what's sold videos, you don't really get that same feeling. You just see people selling. Look at, I sold 10, 20, 30, 40 items. Yes, but how much did you look at? How much did you go through to get to that, you know, to get those sales? And as you can see, it takes, you know, there's quite a few items. There's a lot of digging. Out of all these hats, there might be one that's worth it. And in this case, I really don't think there's any here. This is the just the miscellaneous and not pottery or glass section here. This store, I used to have a dedicated hat area. They used to have a specific area just for hats, but they have since consolidated what hats they get into these shelves. PS5 would it be worth it if it was not $17, $20 or so. It's a good game too. My son already has that. Oops, my son already has that, so I would have picked it up for myself. That is, it wouldn't have been a resellable item. Lots and lots of cords. I would definitely not recommend, even if the price is right, you know, even if you're getting it for under $1, I definitely wouldn't recommend selling the chargers and stuff like that and cords. There's so many out there. It's a flood. The market's just so flooded, and Amazon really has the market when it comes to these types of products. So I wouldn't even touch it. Power adapters, power cords like this. But I do pick up older power adapters, like digital camera power adapters and stuff. But OEM ones, so original like manufacturer stuff. So the actual name brand product, not anything generic. Which is what you'll find a lot on Amazon. You'll find a lot of the like generic. So I do go on there occasionally to find older digital camera chargers. and I will have to buy just a generic, like, off-brand to charge up an old camera. It's always nice to have the original one, but it's pretty rare to find. And on Amazon, typically they ask for quite a bit. So if you do find it out there, Goodwill, flea markets, wherever, some older chargers for digital cameras, I do sell quite a bit of them, so I will pick them up. But I won't pay more than $1 for them. It's got to be, even then, it's got to be less than $1. And they will sell for around $10-ish. Any of these modern chargers, smartphone chargers, cases, whatever, I just leave them on the shelves. Or if you see me buy them, I'm buying them for myself. That's it. I thought that was like a little Lego set or something. So always on the lookout for Legos. And 2024 seems to be the year of Lego, because I have found so many Lego sets at the beginning of this year. So, and great ones too. Some of them I am adding to my collection. But I'll always let you know what the resale price is, though. That way, if you find it, you guys can resell it. Underwear. I was actually looking for my... I was kind of shocked for myself there, seeing if they were my size, but no, a little bit too big. Definitely shop for yourself. As you can see, there's a lot of new stuff here. There's a lot of new stuff. So if you need anything, great way to save money right here. I wouldn't touch used underwear though, but they don't sell used underwear here at Goodwill. They can't. So I don't even. They would probably throw it away. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you can even donate socks. I don't think socks are donatable. If they do find them, I think they throw them away. And if you do see underwear hanging, that is clean underwear. They open up the packages and they put them out there individually, which I don't know why, but they do that sometimes. Oh, this is a pretty good little find. These air flyers, RC. I'm just making sure everything's in there. It was actually brand new. So I'm going to list that as open box. That should be like between $30 to $40 for that piece. It won't be necessarily a fast seller, but it is brand new. It's slim. It's easy to store. It's a quick lister. So I'm going to put it in the cart. And I think it was only $4 or $5 the most, I think, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, that's going to be the end of the video. And stay tuned. We'll touch on a few talking points here at the end. Okay, everybody, welcome to the end of the video. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First, I'm just going to touch back on shipping really quick. I want to show you guys a couple of boxes that I use. And we'll talk about computers, what to look for. They've been selling, like hotcakes right now at the beginning of the year. So, computer stuff, components, keyboards, all that stuff. But I'm going to get more into the component side of things. Now, first of all, the two boxes that are incredibly versatile, I always keep in stock. And this is based on just over the years what I've been selling. And I'm like, you know what? I need to keep this in stock. I can use it for a lot of different items that I end up buying and need to ship out. First off is the 12 by 8 by 6. It's a bit of a longer box, but yet slimmer as well too. I'm going to show it like this. So, great box to keep in stock. Another thing too, when you are getting boxes, you got to think about the dead space in the box and how much, extra padding material you're going to need to put in there, because that's going to add weight to your box. Plus, you don't want your package, jiggling around everywhere in the process of shipping, because that can lead to something breaking. But I found 12. If you guys are watching the video, you're resellers, you're like, hey, I want to pick up that stuff. I sell stuff just like that, and I have trouble shipping. This is an incredible box for its versatility. And I ship a lot of glassware, pottery in these boxes. If anybody orders 2 mugs at the same time, it'll go in one of these boxes. I have enough room for padding. And it's not, you know, an overly large box either as well, too. So great box to have on hand. If you're watching my videos and you see I come across that same item, I come across those items, I want to resell them, or I resell the same stuff and I have trouble shipping, or I don't know what to use. So 12 by 6 by 8. I order them on Uline. It's cost effective for me, and it gets here next day. So they're incredibly fast. The other box, and I kind of talked about this, is this one I use for hats. It's a 9 by 7 by 5 box, and this box, a little smaller box, but again, I could get a smaller box and save a little bit on the weight for my hats, but the versatility of this size is just incredible. I just sent out a action figure. It was actually a guy. It was like a lottery picker type of electronic device, and it fit perfectly in this box. I just wrapped it in a couple layers of bubble wrap, and it fit perfectly right inside this box. So it's not just used for hats. It's versatile, and I don't have to waste money on different sizes of boxes for the different items that I buy. This is still a great size for a lot of items. What have I shipped out in this recently? Actually, I shipped out a couple of small glasses, whiskey glasses, in one of these boxes as well too. So look if you are buying your boxes, look for box sizes that can be used for multiple items that you ship or that you buy and sell on eBay or wherever, you know, wherever you buy and sell. So great boxes to look out for. 2 great sizes. Okay, so we're going to talk about computer components, because I sell a lot of computer stuff. Beginning of the year was pretty crazy getting, you know, computer components. I had a huge, I mean, it was huge, bigger than my head. Well, bigger than my shoulders, I should say. It was definitely bigger than my head. Bigger than my shoulders. It was a universal, what is it? What do they call it? It's no, not universal. Uninterruptible power supply. So it's basically a power strip with, what do you call it? Surge protection. And it has a battery in it. So not only will it provide multiple outlets, it'll also provide surge protection, but it'll also provide a backup battery. Now that is what they call a UPS, or uninterruptible, like I said, an uninterruptible power supply. Is I would highly recommend it for computers at home or electronics at home. It's better than an actual surge protector, but it is a little bit, you know, it's a bit costly. That one I sold for $175, and it was 30 pounds. It was wild. I mean, wild from a weight standpoint. As far as packaging, you know, luckily I carry boxes, because I sell a lot of keyboards. I carry boxes that are 20 inches by 12 inches by 6 inches for long but yet slim items. So that was able to go in one of those, and just wrapped it up pretty heavily with bubble wrap. As a matter of fact, I have some extra packaging material, padding. It was like kind of like an insulation style of padding from something I got, and I just keep a lot of the padding stuff, and that worked incredibly well. So that's for a server. So that was for a server. So I was selling some server stuff, computer components, and of course, you guys know I sell keyboards. You guys see me pick up keyboards all the time. So great keyboard right here. Definitely something to look out for. This I picked up at Savers, and this is a wireless. It's not the full size, but just a wireless Apple. Make sure it's Apple branded. I paid less than $7.99. I got 20% off because I had a coupon, but it was $7.99. It should sell for like around $20, $25. But look for the Apple logo on the back of these keyboards here, and then they will have a number down below it. It'll say model A1644. So definitely look out for these Apple keyboards. These Apple keyboards do incredibly well. As far as their sell-through rate. I was going to say it, sell-through rate. You guys know I don't really like to say sell-through rate. I say customer. I look at it more as customers and competition, customer base, because sometimes sell-through rate doesn't. You could leave a lot of profit on the table if you're just focused on sell-through rate. But Apple products sell incredibly well. Their keyboards sell incredibly well. These rechargeable ones do really well. These actually recharge with a lightning cable, so just be aware of that. And they're Bluetooth. And the full-size ones do better. People like to have that number pad on the side of them. Okay, another thing I've been selling a lot of are computer components, and what I've always kind of sold a lot of are computer components here. And I have an example here. You really shouldn't be putting your fingers all over it, but this isn't a computer channel. This isn't a computer channel, so I know there's always a lot of people in the in the comment section of those computer channels I watch, and like, you can't be doing that, you can't be doing this computer, you can't be, so. But this is an old motherboard here. Otherwise, this motherboard, and the reason why I say motherboard and not memory or under this fan is the processor, or something that looks a little like this right here, processor. The motherboard is the whole platform. So all the other components plug into the motherboard, which is why the motherboards tend to be a little bit more pricier. Now, graphics cards tend to be, the most costly, depending on, how high-end you want to go. But these older systems, what I have found, and I don't think it's really common knowledge, because I get a lot of people like, I can't believe you're going to sell those old motherboards or whatever, but they do sell. And one of the reasons why they sell is because if something goes bad in their system, if something goes bad in somebody's system, or I should say, not something, if the motherboard goes bad, a lot of these components will only work with this generation of motherboard, especially the CPUs. The CPUs, these guys right here, there's the back of it right here. Some of them have just little gold pads on the back, and then the motherboard has actual pins that touch these. And then some of these actually have pins on the bottom, and then the contacts are on the motherboard. However, I think a lot of companies are moving towards this style, where the pads are on the bottom and the pins are actually on the motherboard. And I believe in a video just a couple videos ago, I was examining some motherboards, and I kind of went over, the pins and make sure they're not bent and all that. But if somebody has an old system like this, let's say this is running inside a computer, and their motherboard goes bad, they determine the motherboard is bad, then maybe they're a business, okay, and they're like, we got to get back up and running. We don't really want to spend all this money changing over our systems. Just look for a motherboard that you can replace that motherboard with, that's compatible with all the components that are plugged in. So the processor, the memory, maybe they have some expansion cards that only work with that, with some older generation plugs. So this plugs, or these are PCI slots. These are PCI Express up here. They're better, faster, all that stuff. These are old style PCI. A lot of newer motherboards, you're not really going to see these PCI anymore. They pretty much all moved to PCI Express. This is just a smaller version of PCI Express up here. So these components, there's other motherboards from this era that these components will work with still. But as we move forward in time, a lot of these motherboards and everything will start, just getting trashed, and people just start throwing them away. So the motherboards become incredibly valuable, because if someone doesn't want to move to or upgrade to another platform, they want to keep all the same components, you're going to need to find a motherboard that those components will work with. This motherboard right here, this is a what brand is this? I think this is an MS. Oh, it's an ASRock Z77 Pro 3 motherboard. It's nothing really special. I've had it. I've used it to test components on, but this one here, this motherboard will resell for about $75. And then the processors don't tend to be worth too much. The motherboards tend to be worth the most, and the The memory are worth something, but it's not, you know, it's not crazy valuable. These are DDR3 crucial. DDR3, pretty sure these are, yeah, these are DDR3s. So and sometimes the older memory can do okay, you know, like what's called DDR or DDR2. We're currently going into DDR5 right now. But if you find any motherboards, these ones are the ones where I make the most money on, are the motherboards. So number one thing is to check for corrosion. So you want to do just a good visual inspection, making sure there's no corrosion. What is corrosion? Well, you might see some green around some of the metal components. You might see white, like a white powder, or white, you know, like just a white around the components there. And that could be they're exposed to moisture and there's corrosion that occurs. Now, you can get electronics wet. I've cleaned electronics with water before. You just have to make sure they're completely dry before you run power through them. Typically, you would use alcohol to clean a lot of this stuff. And I use, if it's really, you know, bad, I will use water, but I tend to use alcohol mostly. Because I don't pick up stuff that's really that bad. If it's that bad, if I'm visually inspecting this item and there are corrosion spots in all kinds of different areas, spots on the back, anywhere, then I'm leaving it behind. It's not worth me gambling on it. Unless I'm getting it for free, even then, you know, just to go through the process of testing it, you know, might not even be worth it for me. So I'd really have to look it up and see what it's going for. And if it's worth it, then I would. So you definitely want to visually inspect your boards, your components. This goes for all electronics, especially if you can't test them. You want to do a quick visual inspection. I've talked about this. You only want to pay what you think it, or what it will go for broken. Then if it's good, then, you know, you make a little bit more. So that's what I do when I'm looking at these things. I'm looking at the, you know, make sure there's a lot of pins on here. So I'm making sure the pins aren't bent and everything. If it comes with a processor, that'd be even great. Like I said in the previous video, under the processor there is a, you know, where the processor plugs into on a lot of these motherboards now, there are pins there. So you want to check that out, make sure those pins aren't bent. If it's covered, even great. If it has a processor in it, even better, because that's a bonus. These processors, I forget what processor is under here, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like $20. So the processor or the brains of the operation isn't really worth it. You need the whole motherboard. And the motherboard is kind of like your nervous system. You know, it's running all the little signals everywhere to, you know, signals are coming in and going out. So visual inspection is key for me when I am buying these things. You don't really have to be an expert to look at it and be like, hey, you know, that looks broken, or that looks like it's been sitting in water for a while, or, yeah, you can quickly look at it and determine, yeah, hey, that looks really clean, and it's potentially worth it. And obviously testing it might be a little bit more challenging, and, you know, there's plenty of channels out here with computer builders that show you how to test these things. But for a computer, for a motherboard, you need the processor. You gotta have, the basics are a processor, and potentially a video card. Some processors do have these things right here. Some of these processors will have the ability to output video, but not all of them. Not all of them do. So you might need some sort of graphics card. And a graphics card is, I don't have any graphics cards around here. Graphics cards are GPUs, but if you look it up, look up graphics card or GPU, you'll see it right away on Google. But they'll plug in usually one of these top longer slots up here. And then you will need some memory. And then you will need a power supply, a computer power supply. And the power supply plugs in on 2 spots on this motherboard. You may need a plug for your video card, but just for, let's say you get a video card that doesn't require a power supply. Okay, you just plug it in and you go. Or let's just say that the processor has the video built into it. So there's a plug right here. You would get that plug into there. There will be a plug for this on a computer power supply. And then there will be a plug for this one up here on top right there. Then, after that, after you have those components, pretty easy. All you got to do is plug in this motherboard, and this motherboard, actually, this processor does have a can output video. So, and this motherboard does provide a HDMI, and a lot of modern motherboards will have HDMI, the ability to plug in an HDMI cord, plug in an HDMI. Oh, turning it on is also an issue. I just realized that. Hold on. I know this is not a technical. This is not a technical channel, computer or computer channel, but this is a bit of an education on reselling. If you guys are interested in reselling computer components, definitely drop a comment down below. Let me know. My Instagram will be down below if you guys want more information. But turning it on is not really challenging, but it's a bit. You gotta make a connection here. So you gotta connect. So there's two little. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys if you guys are interested or not. But see this little. There's a little thing right here. There's little pins right here, and on those little pins, it's usually marked. It'll say PLED. It'll say PWR-BTN, which stands for power button. PWR, power, BTN, button. And it's referencing two pins that are usually on top. You could, you could just go with your, with a little screwdriver and just tap each two pins until it turns on. But basically, you just got to make a connection between two pins. That's all it is. And it's usually this one, and it's usually a setup looks like that, and usually it's right down here. So if you guys are interested in computers or anything like that, I hope this helped. I know this reselling computer parts is somewhat challenging because you have to know about computers and their components, and you got to be able to have certain you need certain things on hand in order to be able to test them. Graphics cards, you got to be able to have a motherboard, a system that you can plug your graphics card into so you can test it. Memory, you got to make sure not all memory fits in every single motherboard, every single computer. This is an older generation. I can't plug these into my computer I use for video editing. It's not going to work. And same with the processor. I can't put this processor just in any old motherboard. So sometimes when I buy a motherboard, I'm hoping, my hope is that it comes with a processor, and I'm very fortunate as of late to have found motherboards that do have processors with them. Best case scenario is to find something brand new. Let me show you something brand new that I don't have to test, and you don't have to test if you find it either. Be right back. It's right here on the other side of the camera. I found these two at the flea market, and I got them for $5 each, and they should resell for quite a bit. So what we have here is these are old. These are early 2000. Pack date 8/15/05. This is a Intel processor, very old. Intel Pentium D. This is the 820. Is it 820? Where does it say that at? Intel. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Intel Pentium D. Oh, this is the 820. Yeah, it is 820. Intel Pentium D 820 processor in the box, completely sealed in the box, brand new. Best case scenario, no testing involved, and this should sell for right around $40-ish, $40 to $50. This old computer hardware stuff will sell. It might take a little bit of time to sell, but it will sell. So you got to get it cheap. And a lot of people don't think it'll sell, or a lot of people that are selling it to you, they'll be like, it's old, I'll just, take it, or give me a few bucks for it. It's worth it to buy it and resell it. Especially if it's brand new, because all this stuff should have been opened way back then. And then the other thing, this is actually a motherboard, and this is brand new sealed. It is open, the box is open. But on the inside, oh, it's all buried underneath it's underneath all this stuff. I don't want to move all this. All the this is an I/O shield, but this kind of completes your build on the back of your computer. You don't need it, but it looks clean. It makes a clean look in the back of your computer. It's in here sealed. So it's in here sealed. It's still inside the plastic or the anti-static bag that it comes in. But brand new motherboard. And this one should sell for closer to $70 to $80. So if you're interested, you guys can leave a comment down below. Or Instagram will be down below. You can always DM me on Insta. Otherwise, that's all I have for the video, guys. I hope you guys appreciate the going to the what is it, estate sale, and also going to a garage sale. Actually, was that 2 garage sales? 2? Did I go 2? I think I went to 2 garage sales or so. But garage sale, a little bit different. Outside of Goodwill and the flea market. We'll be back at the flea market with more flea market videos, and there will be recaps hopefully appearing soon. I think I have one more video without a recap, but we will start having recaps again. Otherwise, I appreciate all these subscribers. I'm now, monetized, like fully monetized. So more than just, I had like membership access, but I didn't really implement that. I just did that recently. So you will see the membership button appear, and that's $5 a month if you guys want to support me. And I'm trying to think of what ways to make that. I just don't want people to pay for something and just to pay for it. I would like to offer some sort of incentive, and I'm thinking the incentive would be maybe a live show, a members only live show, once a week, once every other week. Because that takes time for me. I know I've said before I'm gonna try to do a live show. I've only done one, but I'm always go. There's always something going on, so I would really have to set aside time for a live show. And if I have if I do it for members only, it's just something that I would I would feel that would be a little more beneficial, because 2 members, because I'm actually like cutting out time, or carving out time from my day, which I'm always on the go. So it would be a little bit of hopefully add value to the membership. But let me know down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You will start to see commercials on the video. So I did implement that, so that way Google and the ads they show will pay me, for the content that I put out there. And what else? What am I thinking of? So you got the ads, got the membership out there, and I think that's it. I think that's everything. So but this is all because of the people that have subscribed, the people that are watching the videos. This is, and if you guys want to get into, I mean, these videos aren't, the best. I don't think these are the best videos out there on YouTube, but, I'm just putting yourself out there into the social media world. Just another way, revenue stream, another way to generate, income, money, So just taking you guys along with me on where I go. And I definitely believe that everybody should be on social media. It's just the wave of the future. If you're comfortable with it, definitely do it. And what else? Appreciate all these subscribers. Please subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I appreciate the thumbs up. That helps. The thumbs up helps to push the videos out there on YouTube. It shows that people like it, and they will push the video to more viewers. As well as comments, and basically any interaction with the video will help push it out there to more people. And if you want to get notified of when I drop new content, which should be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as my shorts, hit the bell notification, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.